Over 1,200 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed within 24 hours by Russian forces and Russian relentless bombardment. This occurred on the night of the 12th of February 2026 into the 13th of February 2026. As I'm talking to you, it is a serious situation in Ukraine, and families are crying as they have lost their children. I'm not talking about 200 soldiers. I'm talking about 1,200 soldiers killed inside Ukraine today. And this comes at a time when Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky had a meeting with the European Union officials and also with the British Prime Minister. The British Prime Minister promised to give 207 billion euro to enable million euro to enable Ukraine to catch up and to be able to repel Russian attack. And Russian President Vladimir Putin on 11th of February tested a new Kanza missile, ballistic missile, which is more dangerous than Oshnik. As I'm talking to you right now, the situation in Ukraine is really terrible, and the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called now, after this today's attack, he has called the European Union to see how they can immediately put Russia down and end the conflict. The United States of America, President Donald Trump, has given June as the deadline to end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. He says if this deadline passes, Russia and Ukraine don't sit on the table, then America will take a decisive action, because he has blamed both Zelensky and Vladimir Putin of not wanting to put the war to an end. He said Zelensky is responsible and Putin is responsible. Earlier, he had blamed just Zelensky, now he has added Putin. And the other time, he blamed just Putin and Zelensky. Now he's blaming both. Ladies and gentlemen, watch this video.
Russia has intensified its mass attack on certain key Ukrainian cities. Kiev has reported the loss of at least 6 lives in these Russian attacks. Several people have been injured across the country. So as Ukraine comes under fire, both sides have agreed to hold the next round of talks in Geneva next week. And our next report tells you more.
A deadly battle is unfolding. Week after week, city after city, Russia's mass attack is putting Ukraine on the brink of collapsing amid a punishing winter. Odessa has reported the maximum number of Russian assaults in a day. It has been hit at least twice in less than 24 hours. The second wave of drone strikes have damaged houses, industrial sites, and energy infrastructure. These are the images of the engine of a Shahed drone lying amid rows of burned-out cars. Among the damaged vehicles are ambulances, buses, and vans. Those are reduced to shells. Russia has pounded Kyiv with ballistic missiles and drones, further battering its energy infrastructure. About 3,500 apartment buildings are left without heating in Kyiv so far. The Russian Defense Ministry claims that more than 1,200 Ukrainian soldiers were killed in the last 24 hours, a claim which cannot be independently verified. A similar situation is unfolding in Russia, around 500 kilometers from the south of Moscow. Voronezh is crippled due to its proximity to the Ukrainian front line.
We have air raid sirens every day. Most often, of course, I wake up from explosions. It's scary, of course, because God forbid it's happening somewhere nearby and people are being killed.
The fierce fighting has intensified as U.S. President Donald Trump has been pressuring Zelensky diplomatically to sign the peace deal at the earliest. Moscow has announced Ukraine to face strikes until it makes up its mind, but Kyiv has made it clear that it won't cede land at any cost. Ukraine fears that Russia is opening a new front in the Kursk region. Ukrainian intelligence has revealed that about 11,000 North Korean troops are deployed in the region, along with a heavily armed Russian contingent. As the fighting escalates, there is some positive movement in the diplomatic arena. Both Russians and Ukrainians have agreed to meet next week in Geneva. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Vous êtes le futur de notre société. Vous êtes les leaders de demain. Vous êtes les innovateurs de la prochaine génération. Nous sommes là pour vous aider à réaliser vos rêves et atteindre vos objectifs. Bacheliers, devenez les architectes de votre avenir avec l'Institut universitaire du Golfe de Guinée de Douala.
Since 1993, the University Institute of the Gulf of Guinea, it is 3 higher schools, ESG, ISTA, ISA,